Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to today's Bitcoin update for Wednesday 29th of June. And very quickly, if you're not in our Discord, please join me into the Discord. It was gonna be a nice good thing if you do that, right? And if you want to learn trading, do check out the trading course. The link is in the description of the video. And I do want to bring this update for Bitcoin because I do see weak buyers now from a fierce buyers all the way suddenly we have weak buyers. They're not maintaining the prices, they're not pushing the prices to go to the upside. Okay, is the structure invalidated? No. Okay, it's a big no. The structure is not invalidated, but the thing is you are about to actually invalidate the structure. As far as I see things, this was your bounce, right? That was your bounce there. That was a retest. Made a retest. Now actually, let me try to translate what's going on in simple human language. Let's try to figure out if I can actually read the code here and get the message. Now, I know 25K was supposed to be the technical target. It is what it is, and it was a pattern. And actually, you know what? What I'm gonna do is do some Google here. And let's try to see how often does a head and shoulder pattern work, right? Head and shoulder pattern definition. How reliable is a head and shoulder pattern? The head and shoulder pattern is statistically the most accurate of the price action. So reaching the projected target almost 85% of the time. The regular head and shoulders pattern is defined by two swing highs, the shoulder with the high. Now we do know what a head and shoulder is, but the thing is the number here, okay? So 85% of the time, a head and shoulder, even if it's an inverse head and shoulder, they have a failing number as well. So does head and shoulders pattern fail? That's the question. When is head and shoulder pattern invalidated? If the right shoulder is formed and then broken before the neckline breaks, that invalidates the head and shoulder pattern. That's why in the example above, the stop loss order is placed just below the right shoulder. So I do want to see this image because history repeats and we could be catfished, we could be actually trapped into this thing. So it's all candlestick reading, and it's really, really important to understand that even a bullish inverse head and shoulder can be invalidated, and a bearish head and shoulder can also be invalidated. So let's look at this one this way. All right, so look at this one. You do have the inverse head and shoulder, right? That was your left shoulder, the head there, and then you had the right shoulder. And you can see, even though you didn't cross the neckline, you were trying to cross the neckline, and then you came down, and then you continued to move below the shoulder. So the thing here is, the study is, if you break the right shoulder, everything goes to death, right? Every single freaking thing goes to death. If I actually try to make this, I'm trying to really figure out how this neckline really is, because if I bring in the line and the line graph and I plot the line graph, you still have a little bit of a trend line here acting like one right over there, because if I do make the line graph here, so that's the first touch, that's the second one, and that's the third one right over there, and it's like you really broke it out and you never came back for the retest. Who knows, maybe just a retest here and go to the upside, but I highly doubt it's like to me, this one is like almost a loss of a trend line. Okay, we cannot ignore that one. You are getting below the trend line, because there's no way you're bouncing off like one support here, second support there, and now you can see this is not a good sign. This is absolutely not a good sign, because just look at that. Zoom in here, zoom in there. So let's look at it on the like this one. So first touch here, second touch there, and now you are actually going below this level, which is not a good thing. Is it a good thing? It's not a good thing. And you're even on the verge of making a bear flag, potential bear flag, and you're looking for that bear flag target to be from there to there. This is gonna take you all the way down to, you know, $19,292. I'm actually thinking of closing the Bitcoin trade. We are in a Bitcoin trade, by the way, but by the looks of things, it seems like this stop loss is going to be taken. And by definition, though, if I do go back to Google, what they said, when does it get to fail a pattern? So where was that definition? Was it here? anyways, I'm just going to tell you what they said, that if you try to break the right shoulder, so what's the right shoulder, right? If I do go here to the patterns, right, I want you to click to the patterns, go here down to the head and shoulders, and let's actually draw the inverse head and shoulder in a nice way. So this was your left shoulder, right, very clear. This was your head here, very clear, and that's your right shoulder that was made, right, inverse head and shoulder. If anyhow Bitcoins does come down to break this right shoulder, then that gets invalidated, the inverse head and shoulder, even if you actually broke the neckline. Number one is, I'm going to tell you step by step. So number one, you're breaking the neckline, right? You're breaking the neckline. Number two is you're going to go below the right shoulder. So that actually is a full recipe, right? So that's a recipe for invalidating a bullish pattern, which is an inverse head and shoulder. The same goes for the bearish head and shoulder as well, okay? You might have a head and shoulder like this one, and instead this was your neckline. Instead of going down, if you try to break it up and back test and you go up and you break this right shoulder just like that, that invalidates the head and shoulder. I can actually give you one example here. So if I remove the drawings there and I do go down into the 1 hour time frame, you can see one head and shoulder was actually invalidated, and that was this one right over here. So you can see this was your left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. You went up like this, you actually broke the right shoulder, and look, that's the reason why you went to the upside. You never really came to the downside. So it is what it is. Fake outs, then this will be nothing more than a fake out. So my take for Bitcoin right now is a potential drop to the downside. And number two, so that was a long topic about the head and shoulder. Let's actually go into the daily, and then we're going to talk about the weekly as well. The daily has a 3 black crows. Do you see that? So it's not a good sign. We already have the sign that it's a preparation of the weekend dump. Do you get my point here? The weekends are about to make some bad move to the downside, some dumps to the downside, and the 10 EMA acts as a big resistance now. You actually try to break the 10 EMA, you didn't break the 10 EMA, got rejected, got 3 black crows. You're looking for a perfect dumps to the downside. But my opinion still remains that this the right shoulder, I just want to see it being broken, just to be absolutely sure that, hey, we are going down. So this stop loss, if $19,700 gets taken out, that's it. I'm moving away. I'm going to Mars potentially to have my time there. Mars is going to be better than Earth, because Earth is going to be a little bit poofed. So here we are, and now we are 1 day 22 hours away, and by the look of things, July is not going to be a month of Bitcoin to pump to the upside, because again you have the 3 black crows, and I don't think in the next 1 day 22 minutes you're going to find Bitcoin shooting to the moon anytime soon. Especially in 1 day 22 minutes you're going to be heading into the weekend, so the start of July is not going to be so good, okay, just like the start of June was, okay. So June didn't start really good, went to the downside. July not so much good, maybe go to the downside, and the only thing that I see Bitcoin actually bottoming out is coming down to 13,900 and something, and that's where you do have a big support right there. This is where I'll be looking to buy once again. And that's it for this quick update on Bitcoin. I'm going to see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.